Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm G, and this time I'm fighting the Eidolon again. Today I'll be using Nova. Nova is one of those frames that it's really OP and meta even at high level, especially Steel Path, because she can render the enemies vulnerable with her fourth. Of course, I don't think, at least I know, it won't be very useful against the Eidolon in this case, or the Vulnerous, but here we go. Now, Null Star, this is the one we're going to use the most because it offers a 90% damage reduction, which is really good against the Eidolon, increasing your survivability and making her, a lot tougher to get to against the Eidolon. The anti-matter drop, she throws an orb, the orb can be charged and then explode. Maybe it could work against the Vulnerous, but I don't know. It's very limited radius and it's not really useful against the Eidolon, so I probably won't use that one. This one we will not be using. In this case, in the Eidolon fight, the Archwing is much better to move around. Although, some people might want to use the wormhole, but then you're just wasting energy, so not really good. And there we go, the Molecular Prime. Now, this is really useful against a lot of enemies, and maybe against the Vulnerous, and I'll use it because it slows them down. But because I'm using actually a range reduction, so I can use my Null Stars, I'll probably. I don't think it'll be a lot. I don't think it'll be very effective. That's what I want to say. So I got my lure. I'm now finding the other one. Oh, there's a Vulnerous here. I'm gonna let me charge with 1 and a 2, and only if there were 3, it would be so much simpler. Because then I would have the full charge lure. Because the lures need 3 Vulnerous to charge. Find the other one. Yep, right here. At the entrance of the Plains of Eidolon, right to the left, there's always this small lake where the Grineers are stationed, and there's always a lure here. So yeah, it's very easy to get it. Now, I'm going after the enemy. The Eidolon, which has moved really far away now. But you can see the Null Stars still follow me as I am in the Archwing, which is really cool. Now I'm going to reduce his armor. I think I just... Oh, Vulnerous, cool. This one came out of the ground, see? So I gotta be careful. Even at the later stage, the Vulnerous don't just come from, from the Grineer camps near him. They actually spawn out of the ground. So maybe Molecular Prime will be useful because to those that are really close to it. But to those that are coming from far away from the camps, because I have reduced the range of the abilities, so these orbs stay with me and don't get shot out. Because each orb, and she produces like 25 because it increases with strength. It gives me 90% reduction, so I don't want these things flying around all over the place. See, one of them just hit the Vulnerous. In this case, no, it could be small enough. But yeah, I would prefer to have them all around myself. I use my ability to get more damage to my amp and make the enemy more vulnerable to the amp. And there we go. There's one barrier down. One lure is full. I'm going... Oh, there's one here, so I'm going to try and charge the other one. There's actually 2 of them. And both lures are charged. Let's go. I've just used Null Star again to increase my protection. I'm now going after his arm. This is one of the problems of using the Roboco. The Roboco has a really small magazine. Even if you get all the shots in, and it's a lot faster because it doesn't have the charge time of the Lanka, you still have, to recharge a lot of times, to reload a lot of times. So, yeah, in this case, there's a debate which one is better, the Roboco or the Lanka. I think both have advantage, both have disadvantage. So, whatever supports you both. In this case, because I'm using Nova Prime, I decided to go to Roboco Prime. I just took away his other shield, going to his left side, to his left arm. His right arm, sorry. To his right side to get his right arm. Yep, missed all the shots, second one. Reloading again. And there he goes. Yeah, it has a small magazine, but it has a much higher fire rate, and because it has a reload isn't particularly slow, it's actually pretty good. It does the job. The Lanka can do it in 2 shots, but it takes longer. Charge shot. Oh, I was trying to get this Vulnerous, and I immediately got wrecked by the Eidolon magnetic attack. Ability again, hit him from the heel to the knee. His shield goes down, and now I'm going for one of his knees. The problem with his knees is, especially his left knee. I'm going for the right. It's better because the left knee is usually covered by the. And this one gets covered by his hands. The problem is the knees is this one because it gets covered by the hands. What am I doing? I'm shooting the other knee. Alright, there it is. It got confused a little bit there. Yeah, shooting his knees, the problem is he sometimes gets his hands in front of his knees, so you're shooting for the knee and you hit his hand, and that's not very good. But, you know, you just have to position yourself a little bit better. Oh, ability again to ice the ability. The amp just melts his shield. Now he's going for his left knee. I'm positioning myself a little bit to the right, so I have a little bit of better shot to the left knee. Oh, god damn it! Have to move farther to the left. He's gone. Oh, what? Shot him down. Whoa, that was fast. Okay, using Molecular Prime in case those hoplites get near. Some of them are getting near. Yeah, Molecular Prime. Even with that, with the range reduction, it's still doing a good job, and they are slowing down. So, yeah, it does have a little effect on them. It doesn't deplete their armor or anything like that, but at least it prevents them to getting closer too fast to the Eidolon to give them energy. See, this one just, you know, just particularly over it because I do have a little bit of strength. Strength is really high because of my null star, which as you can see in the bottom left. I'm sorry, in the bottom right, it has 22 orbs, and I'm just gonna go for his head. Oh, I timed that jump really bad, so I got hit by it. Yeah, he doesn't have any shield, so let's just go hit his beard or his head. I'm going to take it out. 3 more shots. Reloading again. 3 more shots. Oh, that was so close. Last shot. Yay, there we go. We got them, boys. Yeah, see, they're just hovering around. They're so because they're affected by slow of the molecular prime. They just, you know, they don't get close that fast. They don't give energy, and they don't even shield. Well, they could give you a shield, but you know, in this case, because it's the first island now, I got lucky. Let me just clear out the rest of the hoplites, because sentient cores are always nice to have. And now I got the Eidolon shards. Using the Arcwing Itzal, because it has this power to, you know, just pull everything towards it. It's great to gather resources. And let's go for the exit. So yeah, she does have a lot of survivability with North Star. That's her best one. The problem is, as soon as she gets close to an enemy or something, one particle flies off and your damage reduction gets reduced. I mean, or your damage gets increases. you basically become more vulnerable. But that's her key ability, the Null Star. The Molecular Prime, well, it does play its job. It does play its job, but I don't think that makes her, you know, OP for that. So here's the build. Energy Siphon to have more energy, Prime Vigor, and Steel Fiber with Neutron Star. So that Neutron Star is an augment for the Null Star that you know, each orb does a little bit of fire damage adaptation because prevents status effect. Now reminder, as you can see, it has more duration for the Null Star, but the ability range is smaller. And then I put Cunning Drift just to, you know, just to compensate a little bit of it, because I was going to use Molecular Prime in the end. It seems a bit reduction, but no. Arcane Guardian, I didn't bring the Arcane Nullifier this time. I just bring Guardian and Energize so I can have more survivability, more armor, and more energy in case, you know, I found an orb on the ground. So yeah, a little bit of a new variation. The Rubico Prime, as you can see, I'm using it because I have an augment for it. It does increase damage, but not a lot. Vital Sense, increases critical damage. Hammer Shot also increases critical damage. Split Chamber for multi-shot. Heavy Caliber for more damage. Critical Blade to increase crit chance. Ready to reload so I can do radiation, which is the element that's more effective against Eidolon, and Survision to increase damage. As you can see, no Arcane or Exos mod needed. The Euphona with 200 with the Hornet Strike, Galvanized Diffusion, Magnum Force. It just, you know, it just damage, just overall damage, and corrosive against the Grunier, in case, you know, one of them gets in the way. and the Sanctum Magistrate, which I regularly use, which are in Storm, which are their stance, Prime Pressure Point, increase damage, Shattering Impact, which with each impact damage reduces armor, very good against the Eidolon, Prime Reach and Prime Fury because they're just good. Prime Heavy Trauma to increase the impact, so it works in tandem with Shattering Impact. The more impact you do, the more armor it depletes. True Steel and Organ Shatter, so it increases crit chance and crit damage. Not a must, but nice to have. Focus Cool, of course. Madurai increases the Warframe and the operator damage. It also increases the amp and the amp regeneration energy damage. There's an inner gaze, as you can see, yeah. Energy for the amp and the void beam is increased by 40%, and increase the regeneration of the amp, which is very good, you know, because you will be shooting this Eidolon a lot to deplete his armor, his shields. I'm sorry, his shields. Now, there on the bottom, you can see Contamination Wave. This is the ability that when you shoot an enemy, it makes them 50% more damage to the operator damage. This is very good because, you know, to deplete the shields, you're not only doing more damage, but you're also depleting the Eidolon, or increasing the Eidolon vulnerability to the amp damage, which is very, very good. That's why this is the best school, and most people use this one, Madurai, against the Eidolon. Now let's take a look at the amp. The arcanes first. I'm using this time Magus Elevate because once I transfer in and out, I get 9% chance to increase my health at the Warframe. Void Sling to drop mines in case the Voblins are getting too close for the Eidolon. Eternal Eradicate, so the on operator ability the amp does more damage. This works in tandem with Contamination Wave. And Retro Strike because it increases crit chance and crit damage. So overall, a very good run of against the Eidolon. She doesn't have healing abilities for the lures, but she does have a little bit of survivability and a little bit of crowd control against the Voblins, which I actually thought it was really cool because they just stood still. Now, I don't know if this is work on a long term because the more there are, the more chance there is they could provide shield to the Eidolon, but in this case it kind of worked. Yeah, she is really good. She's already pretty good, very good, meta even. In regular missions in Warframe, and against the Eidolon, she's not that bad. Yeah, she's fun. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a great game, guys.